Valentine's Day is approaching, and my absolute favorite thing to get on Valentine's Day, chocolate covered strawberries. So why not do a look inspired by a chocolate covered strawberry? Now, to start off this look, do your base however you normally do, or if you want to glam it up, do some full coverage, do whatever for your base. It's the colored products that really make this a chocolate covered strawberry look. So for cheek products, I am going to go in with the Lunar Beauty bronzer stick in the shade Medium Sky. But again, use whatever bronzer, and then a pinky blush. I'm going to use this one from L'Oreal in the shade Dewy Bright Pink. Just make sure your bronzer looks good with the blush. And then with this blush, we're going to apply a lot, and I do mean a lot. And I'm sorry if I'm whispering, my husband is currently asleep. I'm not trying to wake him up. Also, we are going to start blending this a little bit underneath the eye because I got sent this powder from LA Girl and it's their pink powder. So I want to try that out today underneath the eyes. I think that is going to be very fitting for this look. So we are going to really blush up, blend underneath the eyes, and then obviously where it's a little too crazy, just take your sponge and tone it down. As long as this powder does not betray me, because I literally have not opened this yet at all. The seal is still on it. So, let's hope she's good. This is one of those powders with a mesh net in it. I'm not the biggest fan of that because you can't get a whole lot of powder out at once. And it's super light pink, so I'm hoping this does something. And I am just using the puff that it came with because it is different than my regular translucent powder, and I'm not trying to mix them. Also, when you hit it, it does come out. A lot of the mesh powders I have tried in the past, it doesn't matter how hard you hit it, it's not coming out unless you are pressing on that mesh. I am going to put a decent amount of this powder underneath my eyes, let it sit for a little bit and bake. It is very finely milled, which is a good thing. And it's not super duper pink. So I feel like somebody like me that doesn't typically use a pink powder is still able to use this and not be scared. Now, while this is sitting, I am going to go ahead and use my regular translucent powder and set the rest of my face. And then we'll get into the fun part, which is the eyes. All right, let's go ahead and sweep this away. I mean, it definitely set and brightened up a little bit underneath the eyes. It's cute. I definitely don't use pink powder often. I have a couple times, and I have the one from Laura Mercier, and it's just like the tiniest little sample size. I've used them maybe twice, and that's the only experience I have with pink powder. I don't hate it though. Don't look at me crazy. Whatever blush is left on your brush, you are tapping on. Blush blindness is needed with this look. All right, for eyeliner, I am going in with the Melt Gel Liner in the shade Spliff, which is just a super dark brown shade. This I am putting in my waterline, and then I will be using it on my upper lash line as well when we get there. But just any brown liner you like. Now, I have a vision in my head for this look, so I am jumping in with the Lunar Beauty. I just realized this is my second Lunar Beauty product for this look, but this is the Nude Prism eyeshadow palette. This one is my favorite one that they have. Well, out of the three that I have. But let's go ahead and start with a little bit of Vibes in the crease. This is a light brown shade, but it has a little bit of pinky peach tone to it. I think that is absolutely beautiful, and I am just going to blend it all the way out to meet the blush. And this look is going to be so simple. I'm literally only using 3 colors. I am going to use a little bit of that same shade on the lower lash line just to tie everything in together. And then I'm going to take the shade Moody, which is a beautiful chocolatey brown, hence chocolate covered strawberry. We're putting this on the outer and inner corners and doing a halo eye. And just keep blending until it looks good. And if you get a little carried away like I did, don't worry about it, because I am going to use concealer in the center of the lid just to make the pink pop even more. And for that pink, I'm going to use the shade Cherry Blossom, which is a light baby pink. Kind of goes with the hoodie I'm wearing. I am taking that darker brown shade on the outer half of the lower lash line now. And then just to make sure everything is blended, I'm taking that first brush and going between these shades here, making sure everything looks nice before we put concealer down, because once we do that step, you don't want to keep going back over it or it can get patchy. Now we are grabbing a little bit of concealer, like I said, and going right in the center of the lid. And for this, I am going to round the top right here just a little bit. Once you are happy with how your concealer looks, go ahead, load up a tiny brush like this with that pink shade and start packing it over top of that concealer. And that concealer is acting as a base, so this light shade pops even more, because on its own, yeah, it's pretty, but it's not super intense. But I knew for this look, I want to be more of a baby pink strawberry look rather than an actual strawberry with how red it is. I didn't want that because I do already have a red makeup tutorial up. If you've not seen that already, definitely go check it out. But since I already have a red look, I thought this would be really cute. Now for those edges, take whatever is left on the brush you had for the dark brown and blend the edges. And then you should have something like this. So for my highlighter, I used the Makeup by Mario in the shade Pearl, which is so beautiful, very glowy. Also took that on the inner corner of the eye, went back in with the Melt Gel Eyeliner. I just followed my lash line. Then I curled my lashes, used some Lancome Lash Primer. Actually, before that, I did go in with the original Urban Decay All Nighter before it got reformulated, because I still have a little bit of this one left. Then I used the lash primer, because when I use brown mascara, I like to use a lash primer. This is the Sky High in brown. So I'm going to load this up on the lashes and then come back for the lip combo. Okay, so for the lip combo, I have an idea to try out. This is the lifter liner from Maybelline in the shade Let's Bounce, which again, chocolatey brown, and the Melt lipstick in the shade Hora, which is like a light pink shade. It kind of matches what's on my lid, so we're gonna try it. I absolutely love these liners, and this color is got a little bit of a rosy vibe to it as well, so I think it's going to pair perfectly with that lipstick. Moment of truth. Let's go ahead, add some of this just in the center of the lip, and I'm just using my finger to blend this out. Why is that so good? And here is our finished chocolate covered strawberry look. Now, I think it's only right that we eat one of these. Also, excuse the bangs. I have not styled them in a few days. I've just been bobby pinning them off to the side and not styling them the past couple days because I've been working and stuff, and I didn't want to get up extra early and do my hair and all that fun stuff. So they do this. Plus, I am kind of letting them grow out because I might be a smidge tired of them. Not gonna lie. So let's eat a strawberry. But real quick, here is an up close. I love the way this turned out. And since I have long hair and bangs, the blush doesn't seem to be too in your face just because my hair covers up a lot of it. I love the eye look. And this lip combo, I might have to do that again. This looks so delicious. I swear I wait for these all year. So let's finally take a bite. That's what I'm talking about. One final look at this makeup. I am so happy with how it came out. This is definitely the way I envisioned it in my head. But if you try this look, let me know in the comments. Also, if you like any kind of makeup tutorials, I do a bunch over here. So definitely like and subscribe before you leave. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.